What's going on, YouTube? What's the crack? What's the story? It's your boy Corey. We finna do part 2. We finna do part 2 of that video that we was just watching. I'm back now. We got chicken. I'm back now and I got chicken. Two of my videos are flagged. What the fuck? Alright, yeah, we finna pick up where we left off. Let me make sure I'm recording. Alright, we're recording.
Absolutely beautiful. Wait a minute. I know it's a beautiful sight, but you've got to move fast. Get your gear and weapons ready. Start by opening the map, check your missions, and look.
Corey's given a whole nother version of what you just said. Please tell me the truth.
I'm not comfortable talking about this.
We have a young...
Was it an accident?
Damn!
Yeah.
I don't.
I need to put my chicken back in the air fryer. I'll be right back.
What was an accident?
With Ryan.
I didn't even know that he was dead.
Sarah, come on. Sarah,
Is there
please.
someone that I can talk to?
Well, you can talk to us.
I like this detective.
I just want the truth.
But you lying.
Other officers also confront Jen with the news of Ryan's death.
We're trying to find Emma, and we were somewhat successful in that.
Okay. Wait, what? Somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
What leads?
That's we need you to fill in the gaps, because whatever happened to Emma happened in the
Where are
apartment
these pictures?
where you guys stayed at, and we've recovered evidence.
These pictures that's being taken. Ain't nobody know he was dead till 4 years later. So when did they take these? They took these pictures 4 years later?
Evidence from the apartment. We recovered evidence from Sarah's car.
Right.
Blood.
Wait, whoa, what?
Mm-hmm. Blood from the trunk of the car. Blood from the apartment by the bathtub, where in part of Emma's body was discovered it was dismembered.
Even though they'd all moved out by early 2016, investigators were able to access the apartment where Sarah, Jen, Corey, and Ryan had once lived. In July 2021, a month before they spoke with Jen and Sarah, authorities visited the apartment and asked the current residents to leave while they conducted tests throughout the building. Under close examination, several areas in the bathroom reacted to a chemical reagent indicating latent blood residue.
Damn! Nobody cleaned that house? Nobody cleaned the house? How is it still literal blood residue in the house 4 years later. That nasty ass house. This thing right here, though, if I don't know if you can see my cursor. This thing right here, though, is meant to clean the bathtub. Bro, you're not getting away with no murder, bro. In today's modern day time, you're not getting away with no murder, bro. You're not. How they still find blood?
Bathroom floor and the cabinet.
No way. No way she had anything to do with any of that.
She did.
No, there's no way.
Tell me why.
It's
The Google searches, the deep dives that we did, the stuff that she was into at least, right? Painting with blood, like into drinking the blood. And then the searches that she did on her Android phone.
I don't know. I don't know about.
Bitch, yes you do.
While this comment about painting with blood will be explained eventually, investigators won't have the chance to ask Sarah about it just yet, because she immediately throws a wrench into their plans.
Is there a lawyer I can talk to? That was my rights, right?
Well, that's your decision. We don't advise on that. But all we're asking is for the truth.
I don't know what to say.
The truth, maybe?
What I remember.
And you're telling me that's the truth.
That's what I remember.
This is going to be your only time to talk to me and Megan. After this, we're not allowed to help. So.
What happens to me after this?
You're going to be booked into the local county
Help.
jail.
How would you ever be able to help me?
I mean, we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't have physical evidence. That's why I was giving you an opportunity. Okay. All right, Sarah. Thank you.
Once again, the detectives leave Sarah alone. In contrast, those speaking with Jen lay on the pressure.
This is a fever dream.
I'm sorry?
This is a fever dream.
I know this feels like a nightmare now, so we need you
No,
to
it is
fill
real
in the
life.
parts of this thing, because this isn't a nightmare.
Emma's dead.
Emma's dead?
Emma's dead.
Corey's dead?
No.
No, Emma's dead.
Okay.
Did Corey have you guys get rid of his issue? He ain't like Emma coming up. Emma's not what he expected. The selfies didn't show what Corey had wanted. Comes up, Emma's completely shy, reclusive, nothing what Corey expected. Corey went away for the weekend for you and Sarah to get rid of his problem. Corey and Sarah were fighting a lot over it. Let's just get rid of the problem.
Sure.
So what happened?
Instead of just asking him to leave. Damn, you can't just be deleting people, bro.
It isn't long before the detectives decide to once again try speaking with Sarah, and this time they will hear a stomach-churning confession.
So,
Megan here has something she wants to show
something
you.
I want you to take a look at, okay? And read over, then we'll get your thoughts on that. This is from your Google account. Okay, these are your searches on your Google account that you said you only had access to. So flip through these pages.
Yeah, look through them for
and
us.
take a gander at that.
After seeing the evidence within her own search history,
The jugular vein. Oh shit. How to start for a focus mode. Damn, bitch! They literally called her red-handed.
showing
That's
that she
crazy.
looked up how to start Ryan's car after it broke down, Sarah begins to unravel.
Something happened to my family. Well, we'll talk to your family, okay? And you'll get to talk to your family, okay? We can work through this. One thing at a time. This is the first step. Okay, look at me. I'm scared. Okay, I understand you're scared. Okay? All I've ever gotten was a speeding ticket. And you're an honest person.
Oh
I don't
my
think you're a bad
God.
person at all.
Sarah, let us help
All you ever got was a speeding ticket, but
Go
you
ahead.
cut somebody up.
Okay? It was an accident. Okay. It was an accident. Accidents happen every day. So what happened? I was angry. Okay.
So it was on purpose.
And I knocked him down when he came out of the bathroom. And I choked him.
Damn.
And then I didn't know what to do. I've never done anything.
Oh my God. Hey yo, Emma. Rest in peace, but bro, how you let a female take you down, bro? How did you let a female take you down, bro? How did you let a female physically take you down with no weapons, just straight bare hands? You as a grown man. Damn! You couldn't fight off no woman? It's still rest in peace. I'm not trying to make fun of his situation. But come on. You should beat that bitch up in that house.
I got scared. Didn't know what to do.
You should have beat every bitch in that house.
Ruined my life.
You should have went on a
While the
rampage.
detectives speaking with Sarah have finally made some headway, those with Jen are hitting roadblock after roadblock.
I'll be honest with you. I think it's been eating you up. Is it eating Sarah up? I mean, people can...
Why is there blood still on the wall? Oh, these motherfuckers dirty.
have differences with people, right? But to this extent, you know, it would eat somebody up.
I gotta get my chicken.
I mean, you would be not sleeping well, not functioning well. You know, it's a lot, right?
No, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
But no.
Damn. Hold on, y'all. Hello?
You?
Yo.
You still got me with meeting up, right?
Yeah, I got you.
And what did we say, Easton?
Yeah.
Alright, bet.
It's just like it's like a McDonald's or something there. You can meet up at a McDonald's or something.
Yeah, it's a Wawa or McDonald's. We probably will do a McDonald's just like if you do food, but.
Alright, yeah, I can do that.
We'll do a McDonald's in Houston. That's an hour from you, right? Well, like an hour.
Probably about an hour 20.
Hour 20. Alright, cool. That's perfect because it says same shit for me. Hour 29. So. You want to just wait for the call for me to tell you to get on the road or what?
Yeah, you just call me when you want me to get on the road, and I'll be on the road.
Alright, bet. So you can start getting ready. We should be home in probably like 30 minutes. So I'll probably leave around 4:30, but I'll still give you the call instead.
Alright.
Alright, bet.
No, I wasn't aware of that. I've been living fine.
Okay, so maybe
Things were fine.
things are fine until Emma came along, and then things
No,
weren't fine.
no, if you want to go back to that, no. But even then, no. But no, things have been fine. There was no murder weighing on us.
While Jen continues denying any knowledge, Sarah is telling a very different story.
I put him in a chokehold and knocked him down.
Damn.
Did he pass out? Were there words exchanged?
How much Emma weigh?
He passed
About
out.
130.
Okay.
And I didn't let go.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was too late. He stopped moving.
Y'all better get y'all ass in the gym.
Wait. And I couldn't go near him.
Though this is the first time Sarah
crazy.
has shared what happened to Ryan,
You'll never
this
know
is
when you
only
have to
one
fight for your
version of the
life.
story, and with each retelling, the details only grow more and more unsettling. Sarah claims that Jen heard the commotion from downstairs and came up to see what had happened.
Performing on the biggest stage in the world was just one step in my journey. Hi, I'm Ronnie.
I had to figure out how to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. So what happened?
And we cut it up.
Being you and Jen? Was this when Corey was away at the hotel? Okay. So where did you cut him up at? Bathtub? What did you use?
Some kind of salt.
Where did that come from?
How long did it take her?
Shed.
So you each have your own shed there. Okay. Who did the cutting?
Mostly me.
Jen, on the other hand, refuses to make any concessions.
I just don't remember.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Here's the thing. You're going to remember these things.
Yeah, I would probably remember if there was murder and a saw.
And where did you cut him at? And again,
Whoa,
this is also
whoa,
I already know.
Whoa! Wait. Did the police... Did the police mention assault to Jenny yet? Did the police mention assault to Jenny yet or no?
No. Okay, I just need to hear it straight from you.
The joints.
Joints? Can you point to I guess what you mean by joints?
Elbows.
The elbows.
The wrists, ankles,
Mm-hmm.
knees.
And then up here? And the neck. Okay. Does Jen help cut him up?
Not really. She wasn't feeling well. She got kind of sick.
Okay.
So I took over most of it.
But did she help a little bit at the beginning? Okay.
Damn! Bitch
I
told!
was really scared.
Why y'all
One
both
of
gotta
the
go
officers
down?
in Jen's interview steps out of the room to take a call, and when they return, they have news that will flip Jen's denials upside down.
Got an update.
Okay.
Sarah just admitted to everything, and you helped dismember the body. She admitted to all of it.
Okay.
So fill us in with what's going on, right? With the car, you're going to remember everything. So at this point, Sarah, spilling the beans on the whole kit and caboodle.
Okay.
Okay, this is what we told you before. We knew where we were at. So this amnesia that you have isn't going to work because now you're implicated in this as well.
I don't have amnesia.
Then fill it in.
Your ass going to jail, bitch.
Man.
I just got the phone call from the analyst that's listening in on the interview, and she's coming clean, right? They're watching it live.
Okay.
She's coming clean, and you helped dismember the body
No,
with
I
her.
did not.
Yeah,
Sarah's not going to be able to do this by herself.
yeah.
And if she said that, then she's lying.
You just said before Sarah wouldn't lie. She's not lying.
I didn't say she wouldn't.
So who's lying here? It's not Sarah.
It is definitely Sarah. If she said that, oh. Yeah, I would remember that.
Just at the point because you're being implicated now. So now it's a lie.
No.
We just want to get Emma his family's.
Yes. Where did you guys go then with the body? All right, let's get to this part here.
Emma, his
Where
family.
did you go with the body?
Even the cops don't
after
know what to
it's
say.
dismembered? And don't say you don't know. Because
I don't have to say I don't know for that because we didn't do that.
Luckily for investigators, Sarah is giving them all the answers. This, however, is only her first confession, and she will eventually share another that changes everything.
So you got him cut up, then what happens?
We have to figure out
Ooh!
where to.
Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all. They killed him somewhere and then bought the bones somewhere else. Because where they had the bones at, how could you not smell it? If it was decomposing. I'm already knowing.
To put everything.
So where did you say you put his belongings? Where did those go? Like his clothes and his...
Just in one of the bags.
Okay, and where did those...
We put those in a bin.
Like a dumpster?
No, like a Tupperware bin.
Oh, okay. And where did that go?
In the back of his car.
Okay.
We were going to drive the car somewhere
Mm-hmm.
and leave it, but the car wouldn't start.
This is the real story about the tow truck. According to Sarah, she and Jen plan to dispose of Ryan's dismembered body parts which they'd loaded into the back of Ryan's own car. While their plan had been to abandon the car in a deserted location in Illinois before taking a Greyhound bus back, Ryan's car refused to start after they stopped at a gas station. This incident has a horrific new implication. Ryan's remains were still in the back of the car when the vehicle was towed, and Sarah and Jen then had to move the Tupperware bin full of his dismembered body parts in broad daylight into Sarah's car. They left Ryan's vehicle in the street, where the police eventually towed it away.
We started driving and trying to get rid of little things at a time.
Along the road, or is there special spots?
In public dumpsters.
Okay. So did you dispose of like his limbs in different spots? Okay. Do you know where those spots are?
We just stopped wherever something looked okay.
It seemed like secluded or something like that?
Like couple gas stations. Mostly just public dumpsters. I really don't know.
While Sarah doesn't clarify, they only disposed of Ryan's torso and belongings. The rest of his limbs and head had a different, even more alarming destination.
Here's the thing. You have been holding back this whole time with all of this stuff because I don't think you thought Sarah was going to be honest about it, but she is.
Oh, okay.
So let's do the right thing. And you wanted to do the right thing, right? So tell us about that.
About
please.
What?
About the dismembering it and then where you went from there.
I didn't dismember anybody.
You did.
No, I did not. That's fucking insane.
It's not insane.
She's still going
happens
on
all the
this
time.
line.
I mean, you may not want to admit to doing it, right? But this stuff happens all the time.
So where was Corey during this?
No idea.
No idea.
Wherever.
Still at the hotel,
I
possibly?
guess so.
Okay. Any communication with him?
I shut off my phone.
Okay.
Why did you shut off your phone?
I was scared.
Okay.
Did he know something had happened?
This
I don't
bitch!
think so. And I told him Ryan just left. And he didn't ask any questions.
Despite several attempts to get Corey to speak with police, Corey steadfastly refused.
I'm telling you, bro, they could have all got away with it if nobody
if you were
talked.
detained
Corey's
in
smart.
any Maryland juvenile detention facility, this is the money glitch.
Corey's
that's getting
smart.
Former detainees.
He probably got away.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so you don't know Ryan?
I don't.
You don't know Ryan? He didn't live with you at all?
I'm not going to talk to you without
an
attorney present.
We're talking with Sarah and Jen.
Okay.
Everybody involved that weekend, we're talking to right now, except you right now, because right now you kind of look like the bad guy if you don't want to talk to us. Everybody else wants to talk to us. That doesn't look good for you.
Yeah, they told me that you would say that, but
Who would say that?
My attorney.
Okay.
Corey refuses to speak any further and ultimately never comes in to discuss Ryan's case with officers. Without Corey's help, detectives will have to put more pressure on the people who are talking to them. Sarah and Jen. One thing still isn't clear: a motive.
Why were you so angry at him? What happened that you came up behind him and started choking
He
him?
ruined my life.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, I told you the arguments Corey and I had. And I couldn't make him see reason.
The officers talking to Jen also try to understand a motive.
You would do whatever you could to make Sarah happy. So let's get rid of M, because that would make Sarah happy, right?
Damn,
to get her
right in
out of the
Ohio.
household.
Sure, but they agreed to leave.
But she wasn't. Not willingly. Not fast enough.
She agreed to leave.
Without meaning to, Jen points out a glaring issue with Sarah's current confession. If Ryan had agreed to leave, why didn't she simply let that happen?
Exactly,
This
that's what I was
exact
thinking.
question will be central to the story Sarah tells later.
Did Jen know that this was going to happen? No.
But she was there for me.
Sure, she's your support. You said that. That's what support people do and put on for you.
I'm worried about what's going to happen to her.
I don't want to understand that.
We
Stupid,
understand,
dumbass
and we
bitch.
appreciate you.
If you ain't say she helped dismember, she
The
probably would
detectives
got
have
no
no
time.
reason to
Or
assume that
little
Sarah
more
means
time,
anything
less
more
time.
than simply worrying about Jen. But her concern hints at a disastrous turn of events soon to come.
So what happened? You got him? Something happened to Emma, and you put him in the tub, and you guys did your thing. Fill us in on that, please.
That didn't happen.
She's filling in the gaps where you are not filling in the gaps, though we know that you know what happened, right? Because it's written all over you. I mean, as soon as you get to a hot point, you minimize and you kind of look down. It's like a kid with a parent. I don't want to look.
Damn, it was a family living in that house before they had to come and investigate it. I wonder if they put them in a hotel or something while they was doing an investigation. That's crazy. Damn. You about to come investigate my house for some shit that happened 3 years ago? Can I get my PlayStation? I can't get my TV? I can't get nothing? I can't get no drawers out the drawer?
Look and acknowledge.
I gotta
that
leave
lied
now?
to you.
Surprise, I have anxiety.
So when you started dismembering it, right? So what happened from there?
Not right.
So Sarah started. Was Sarah dismembering at this point in time?
No.
You were just holding on to the limbs, you're keeping a lookout.
No.
What are you doing?
No.
She's not cutting this body up herself.
That's probably because she didn't cut up a body.
She just admitted to.
She's still playing dumb.
No, she didn't.
She did.
Yes, she did.
The detectives attempt a different approach to get Jen to talk.
It's more beneficial to go, this is where it is. And it shows that you're wanting to make things right. You want to get things better, and you're showing remorse. Because the judge,
I'm
back
not
at our
showing
county...
remorse because I don't know how to process this. And I'm not showing remorse. There's no remorse to be had.
So getting rid of disposing of a body, you shouldn't show remorse for that?
Of course you should. Yeah.
You're still in shock that Sarah has come clean with everything, right?
There's no way she did this.
And your world's crashing down, and we're just trying to help you figure a way to make it a little softer of a crash.
Even though Jen refuses to believe Sarah admitted to the death and dismemberment of Ryan, Sarah's own interview is already wrapping up.
Let me show you why I stopped paying
Sarah,
for
you
all
going
my
to jail
other sample
too.
libraries. This is Arcade by Output. This thing has sound.
I just don't know what to do because I thought I had my whole life ahead of me. And I made one mistake. And that's exactly it. And now it's over. Don't cut yourself short. I just turned
Bitch,
30.
you going to jail forever. Your life is over.
Okay, one foot in front of the other at a time here.
Continuing to show an unsettling lack of concern for...
The detectives be funny as hell. This is not, I did not just get fighting in the cafeteria. I'm not in trouble for stealing something. You are not the principal and I'm not the student. You are a detective and I am a suspect. I'm going to jail. What are you talking about? Your life's not over. You dismembered somebody. Your life is over. Your life is over, bro.
For Ryan, Sarah then makes an inquiry.
Is there any kind of bail, or am I going to have to stay there the whole time?
There's not bail right now, but that's not to say that there won't be bail in the future. Okay? Just not right at the present time.
Sarah is informed that the charges against her include tampering with evidence, grand theft of a motor vehicle, abuse of a corpse, and gross abuse of a corpse.
Okay, I appreciate you being honest with us. Because that's the kind of person you are.
Thank you, Sarah.
I hope it doesn't. Oh, I don't know.
We'll give you a few points, okay?
One of the officers who had been interviewing Sarah heads over to Sarah's mom's house in order to take a crack at Jen and see if he can break through the unrelenting denials. This is where everything goes horribly wrong.
Where are they?
Though the video footage is redacted, Jen is introduced to the detective who spoke with Sarah and is then read the Miranda rights.
Am I being arrested?
Okay, well, we have some things we need to talk to you about.
But you're not saying yes or no.
Well, because it all depends on you. So we're going based on physical evidence and now what Sarah told us. That's my job. I'm doing my job. They're doing their job.
Sorry, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, go ahead.
They said that she said that she was involved.
What the fuck?
Absolutely. 100.
Hold up.
thought it was a real fire, they're crazy.
I thought my house was burning down. I thought my house was burning down, y'all.
Percent, and this interview is being recorded.
Okay.
And I cannot lie about that.
I trust
She absolutely said she was involved, and she gave details, and you were involved in those details. I mean, I'm not making it up.
you. I don't know how I was involved.
Well, she told us how you were involved, but I don't want to go into those details because if you tell me and something's different, I have to go back and talk to her and try to iron out the inconsistencies.
Hearing that the detective isn't lying about Sarah's confession seems to be a turning point for Jen, but not in the way they hope.
I don't remember any of that. I don't know why Sarah would say that.
You're just surprised Sarah said it.
Of course I am.
Right, because she'd gotten away from this whole claim until today.
After hours of conversation, the new detective points out something that the others have failed to notice. While speaking with the officers, a purse has remained on Jen's lap.
What's in your purse?
More comfortable and calm.
After Jen explains, they quickly move on and continue questioning. This time about the evidence they've uncovered, a choice that will likely haunt the detectives for the rest of their careers.
And we found large quantities of blood in the trunk from Emma. That's a clue. We call them police work. You know, I'm not trying to be facetious, but that's called a clue. You know, so I mean, when we put two and two together, and then we talk to Sarah, and it all kind of matches up. You know what I mean? It all matches up.
What's going to happen to her?
Well, I don't know. It all depends on what you tell me.
To my knowledge, she didn't do anything.
But I'd be more worried about yourself right now.
Why?
Because of what she's telling us and the physical evidence. And the social media search warrants that we did.
I'm not worried about myself.
There's a very good reason Jen isn't worried. And once again, the purse comes up.
You don't have any, like, weapons in there, do you? What are you playing with in your purse?
She texted somebody?
So, Jen, like we talked about, you asked if you were under arrest. You are going to be placed into custody. I want to, before this gentleman, he's a detective with the City of Marion Police Department. You're going to be booked into their...
Oh, shit!
Central 055.
055.
Sarah wasn't going.
How long has her hand been in that? 055, 9512. Need you to respond to the scene.
Do we have a victim?
Affirmative.
None of ours, right? We didn't return anything.
Damn.
No officer involved.
Just as officers began
That's
their
really
arrest,
crashing out.
Jen pulled a small handgun out of the purse and fired. Jen was pronounced dead at the scene from a single bullet wound to the back of the head.
Damn! Damn. How many shots was let off? Because I thought I only heard one. Damn, so she pulled a gun out, and I guess whatever cop was behind her executed her ass.
Is happening back at the police station. Sarah is led away in handcuffs. Unbeknownst to her, Jen has just died.
Stand up, turn around, put your handcuffs, okay?
Am I able to use the restroom again before?
This is all one day? This is all happening in one day? So they must have had let Sarah go after that first initial interview. They must have let her go. Sarah went with her mom back to her mom's house. Then the cops went to her mom's house to talk to her again. Twice in one day. So all this is happening in one day. Okay.
When we get over to the...
Damn, so she killed herself fast. She must have already knew. Well, she didn't kill herself, but she must have already knew that she was going to crash out. She knew she wasn't going to go like that. Damn. Imagine thinking you going to jail for theft. Whole time you going for a murder that you did 4 years ago. Then you get accused for the murder that you did for 4 years ago. Then it's confirmed that you killed a nigga 4 years ago. Then motherfuckers come in and tell you that your girlfriend is dead. That's crazy. What a day.
I'll let you use the restroom over there, okay?
What a day.
Months after her arrest and Jen's death, Sarah is brought in to share an entirely new version of Ryan's death.
Good morning. How are you doing, Sarah? Feel free to have a seat. People here. We didn't want to be rude drinking our coffee in front of you, so we've got you one. Feel free to
Thank you so much.
to have it if you like. If you don't like coffee, then
I haven't had coffee for so long.
it's a specialty. It's a Cinnabon, so it sounds pretty good.
After a few more pleasantries, the investigators clarify with Sarah that her lawyers agreed she can speak with them, and they read her Miranda rights. They immediately begin by discussing Sarah's new confession. In this discussion, she refers to Jen by the name Naira.
On the morning of the 26th,
what?
Naira started voicing some plan about killing him, and I did not take her seriously because she would make comments like that sometimes. I still didn't take her seriously, but I was starting to get worried because of how intricate it was getting. And then when she started gathering tools like trash bags, bleach, the handsaw from the shed, I realized she was serious. So I tried to talk her out of it, calmly at first, and then I started getting a little hysterical. And she told me that if I didn't help, that she was going to do it anyway. And usually at this point, the attorneys ask me, well, why did you do it? Why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you kick her out? And it was because I loved her. I was so scared and horrified, but there wasn't, like, I didn't stop. I didn't stop her. I didn't.
What was the problem then?
Yeah. She had a rag that she dipped in bleach, and she had a bottle of vinegar next to her to add to it when the time came, because I guess they had some kind of chemical reaction and released some kind of poisonous gas. I don't really know, but she did the research for it.
Though Sarah has significantly shifted the roles that she and Jen play in the planning and execution of Ryan's death, she still tells detectives that she jumped on him when he came out of the bathroom before Jen then held the rag over Ryan's mouth. The changes in her story only become more apparent as the details grow even more brutal.
When he started making these guttural gasping noises, Naira let me get out from under him, and I curled up in the office and cried. So I stayed in the office for a while until she did get him in the bathtub, and she had put a trash bag over his head and severed it, and then put that into the freezer.
That's why she crashed out. That's why she crashed out, because she the one that did all the dirty work. She the one that really put in the work. She the one that really got down. And her friend so real. Her friend so real, she helped her with the murder. Then took the blame. She didn't even snitch. She took the blame. Then waited for her to die to tell the truth. She a real one. She a real one.
so that she could deal with it later.
Since her arrest, investigators have discovered chilling evidence about the fate of Ryan's decapitated head, something they'll bring up shortly. In this retelling, rather than Jen being the one to dispose of Ryan's clothing, it was Sarah who took on this job. However, this doesn't mean she didn't help with the dismemberment.
She started to get intestinal cramps, so she went to lie down and said I had to take over. So I put the hands in one bag, the hands and the feet she told me to put in a bag, and then she also put it in the freezer for later because she said those would be the two big identifying factors and she would have to deal with them separately. So I removed the forearms and the calves at the joints. It was slow, exhausting work, and I did not work fast enough. Her original idea was to cut up everything into as small of manageable pieces as possible and then dispose of them that way, but we didn't have enough time to do that, so we just had the head, the hands and feet, the forearms went in one bag, the calves went in another bag, and then we just had to deal with the torso.
After this, the story remained the same. They loaded Ryan's dismembered body into a Tupperware container and attempted to use Ryan's vehicle until they eventually had to call a tow truck. The difference this time, apparently Jen was the one telling Sarah where to go as they drove towards Illinois, stopping randomly to dispose of Ryan's remains, including the area where Ryan's torso was eventually discovered in Mercer County, 2 hours from Columbus.
Damn.
The fate of Ryan's head was an entirely different story. Investigators eventually searched the garage at Sarah's mom's house where they found several boxes filled with what appeared to be human remains. This included a pot filled with a thick substance hidden within layers of plastic garbage bags. After the pot was emptied, investigators recovered a human skull. In this version of her story, Sarah claims it was Jen who disposed of the remaining limbs.
But also because she didn't know the best.
Damn. They turned that nigga into a stew. Why the yo? They did that nigga so bad. Yo, rest in peace.
Best way to dispose of it yet. So we had to carry, so she put it in the soup bin, put that in a bag or several bags, put the pieces of the hands and feet also in the bag, and then kept bagging it up, and we put it in the shed for the time being. And every time we moved, it would have to come with us. So that was a weight that I had to drag with me everywhere I went. For a long time, we would check the news constantly. That's when we found out that the torso was discovered. But as time went on and we didn't see any new news, we started planning for a future instead. And she had...
Damn, they thought they was gonna live the rest of their life.
We had done we made a pact that should something go wrong or we get discovered, that she was going to shoot me first, because she said she would rather die than spend her life in prison. The arrest came, and when I said goodbye to her, I could see it in her face that she knew.
This confession sheds an entirely new light on the footage of Jen and Sarah saying goodbye when she was arrested.
You want to tell your wife bye or anything?
Okay.
You had mentioned the bleach and vinegar on the ring. Okay. And then mentioned something different was put into the pot?
Lye, some kind of lye mixture.
Okay. And is that something you would have had on hand, or did she go out and purchase?
That she did purchase. The head in the freezer didn't draw any attention because she had packed like vegetables and stuff in front of it, so it didn't look like it was anything.
This is a horrifying detail. While Corey was still living in the house, Ryan's decapitated head was in the home, hidden just out of sight behind some frozen vegetables. The detectives take a quick break before returning to clarify a few more details. including the comment investigators initially made to Jen during her interview about Sarah painting with blood.
So art for me is a coping mechanism. And I know that Randy and Eric had mentioned that there were two pieces in particular that gave people red flags. One was a painting of a sheep with that was done in blood, or some of it. That piece I had done prior to ever knowing about Ryan. That was a coping mechanism for everything
You
that
sick,
I've
bitch.
been through with Corey.
Sarah posted this drawing to her illustration Facebook page in June 2015, titling it Sacrificial Lamb. Though she created it a few months before meeting Ryan, it eerily depicted the lamb dismembered and decapitated.
The other one was a mermaid holding a human head, and I know that people thought, or at least I heard, that this was like showing like, look what I did.
What Sarah doesn't mention is that she titled this drawing, Till Death Do Us Part.
But that was also a coping mechanism, having to drag that around with me everywhere we moved.
During the interview, Sarah also doodled a quick drawing of the saw they used to dismember Ryan. The elusive motive still needs to be clarified, and so detectives ask the haunting question of why Sarah and Jen didn't simply let Ryan leave the apartment as planned.
The thing she said was along the lines of, someone like that doesn't deserve to be out in the world to ruin someone else's life. So I think in some perverse way it was her idea that I don't want to go so far as to say she was dealing out justice, but she just felt very strongly that he didn't deserve to be out there. She said that if you want to transition, your goal is to just fit in. And that's what she tried to do. She didn't point out anything. She tried to be as feminine as possible because that's what she wanted to be, was a woman. And so with people like Ryan, who say that they're transitioning but are not really making the effort, really bothered her. She more commonly said things like, he's a disgusting human being, or the world would be better off without him. So that's why the fact that Ryan wanted to but still looked and acted male just really got under her skin.
With this allegation in mind, investigators question why Sarah
What
confessed
that got to
to
do with Sarah, though? What that got to do with
you were
you?
trying to protect Jen. I guess, why try to protect her at that
Or
point?
Jen, what that got to do with you,
That's what
Jen?
I thought about in hindsight. It would have devastated me to have to throw her under the bus and say, well, she was the one who did it. I guess there was a small part of me that thought if I took the fall for her, she would be okay. But thinking back now, I should have known with the look on her face that there was no point trying to protect her. She was going to do it anyway, with me or without me.
As the interview wraps up, Sarah clarifies why she wanted to speak with the investigators again.
I don't know if the prosecution knows how much detail about Naira. So I'm basically just hoping that at the sentencing, essentially the same thing that I told both of you, just condensed a little bit, we'll be able to go on the record so that my side of the story and what actually happened.
They arrested the wrong person.
In the end, Sarah's new version of Ryan's death did little to change her fate.
Look, let me take that back. They arrested the right person, but they arrested the two people in the wrong order. They should have arrested Jenna first. Even though she probably would have killed herself in jail.
2022, Sarah Buzzard pled guilty and appeared in Mercer County Common Pleas Court for sentencing. She was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years. Warren, Ryan's father, had the last word.
I just know now that no one can hurt him anymore, and Tell we can hurt him now.
Damn. Rest in peace, Emma. I feel bad for his dad.
Make pedophiles afraid.
That gotta be crazy. Farquaad out. I'm gonna check y'all on the next one.